EBN. And let's talk a little bit, Chris, about the book. What was the, from seeing it, from reading passages that I could, what was the most difficult part of writing that book?
All of it.
Right.
A lot of it was really tough. There was times when me and my writer Daniel Patinkin, we'd work for 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, and I'd be like, okay, I got to take a break.
Right.
We have to go take a walk or something, and then get back to it. Because I suppose in hindsight it's good therapy, but there's that whole saying, let sleeping dogs lie. I kind of definitely felt like I was stirring up a lot of dust.
Was that good for you?
I think so.
I think so too, right?
Yeah. Hindsight's 2020, and looking back, absolutely, I think, part of my recovery, being able to get all these stories, get this information out there, kind of wear it on my sleeve, and just, say, yeah, this is what happened. This is what I was going through. This is what I did, and take it for what it is.
To come to terms and to actually do a book like that, like you said, it is an incredible awakening of, sleeping dogs, as you said, and it is an incredible therapy session, shaking you up. You're getting memories from your childhood, right? You had your father had left early in life.
Yes.
Raised by your mom.
Yeah, and even that was kind of, don't get me wrong, she got me through my childhood into an adult, so
right.
She provided the the necessary means for survival. There was a roof over my head. Most of the time we had electricity and food, that kind of stuff.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. Not all the time. Sometimes it got pretty rough. But yeah.
And was she working 2 jobs or whatever she could do?
She was working, she was going to school, and she was living a very active social life as well. So she would do some school stuff in the day when she wasn't sleeping, because her job was as a bartender in the evening. So she was gone till about 3 o'clock in the morning, which made my house definitely the cool, as a young kid, the cool spot to hang out, because right. We'd still invite friends over. They think my mom was there, but she'd be gone at work. And
so a window of opportunity for a kid to get in trouble as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Really free and wild as a kid, I got to say, yeah.
And had you always been a fighter before you were even a fighter? Were you a fighter? I mean, you seem to me like on the playground, even in 5th grade, right? If someone disrespected you, it was probably on.
I got in a few fights, in school. I got in a few fights. I got in a couple in high school. But not a ton, not a ton. I started boxing. I had done some wrestling and karate and stuff in elementary school and middle schools when I started boxing, and then wrestling in high school. So it's like I tell all the parents that come into my gym. By the time, once you're tough, you don't have to prove it anymore. So
right.
So that being said, got in a lot of verbal conflicts, but a lot of times it didn't ever escalate to actually fighting.
And like you said, the more you know, the less kind of violent you
right,
get.
because those kids out there fighting all the time at school, they're trying to prove they're tough. And who do you think they're trying to prove it to?
Right.
Themselves more than anybody else.
Right. And speaking of kids, you're working with an amazing group right now over at the Arena.
Yes.
Headed by Charles Martinez and Vince Salvador.
Yep.
Man, Jake Mapes is over there.
Yep. Barry Yoshida. I mean, the coaching staff is bar none phenomenal.
Barry Yoshida, legend. I mean, come on, doing what he does in his amazing career. He's been incredible.
Still going. He just had a competition recently, so he's still competing at the highest level. No Masters division for that guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, he's just a beast.
And
then the guys you have coming up, at Epic, we broadcast together. Chris is a commentator and I'm a cage announcer, and usually with Jeff Glover, Danny Moe, but man, the Arena came off with, I believe, 4 out of 6 fights they won.
Yeah, we had 6 guys on the card, so we definitely showed up in full effect to that show. We had a lot of support from other members from our gym were there. The general manager was there. Everybody showed up with their Arena shirts on. It was awesome. We won. We had every fight. The matchmaking was great for that show.
Harvey Castellano.
Harvey Castellano did
bringing the heat.
Did a really good job on the matchmaking. I mean, I think Epic is bar none the best amateur organization in Southern California for sure. And so
Jason Stewart.
Doing
big things.
Yeah, and all our guys had tough fights. There were no easy fights that night. We won 4 tough fights, and then the 2 that we lost were really, really close. Chris, who was the co-main event, his fight really, I think the guy maybe landed, 5 or 6 more kicks or punches on him. I think what hurt him more than anything was, he took a big hook to the ear, and that ear had actually exploded in practice.
Really?
Yeah. So his ear was already cauliflowered. It was just swollen up, and it actually popped in the fight. It was
wow. And we're talking Christian Leone, right?
Yeah, Chris Leone. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a
the
tough,
Lion. Yeah.
tough fighter he is, and he went against an absolute animal. I mean,
did.
that guy was really, really tough, a well-seasoned fighter as well.
Yep.
And man, that was just a war for a long, long time.
Yep. And then Jeff, the other guy from our team, he fought Spike. And, Jeff seemed to be just doing awesome for 2.5 rounds.
Unbelievable. Carrying the fight and dominating the fight.
Carrying the fight, dominating the fight. Spike is a veteran. And, it got
Tough
to the
guy.
ground. Spike had guard. Got an armbar and actually did some serious damage to his arm because the kid didn't tap until his arm was backwards. So he's been back in the gym already. He's watching practice on the sidelines. He's in a sling right now. But it was a great show. By the way, if anybody wants to check out those fights, there's a lot of them are live. I filmed them live, so they're on my Facebook. You can check that out.
Epic Fighting, about every 8, 9, 10 weeks or so, we have a show.
Yep.
Over 2,000 people were there. It was a crazy electric environment. That Spike Carlisle fight, I mean, Jeff was beating Spike that entire fight, like you said.
Yeah.
And Spike really pulled that armbar out of nowhere.
He really did, and I think the biggest thing, biggest thing in that fight is Jeff is so amazing, so talented, but yet still relatively young. I mean, he's 21, maybe 22 years old now. So still a lot of growth left in that kid, and I think the difference there was the ring experience that Spike never. He never quit fighting. I mean, he may have lost 2.5 rounds, but he stung with it. And then at the end, we got just a touch sloppy, and boom, the veteran capitalized on it. So learning experience.
And for Jeff Creighton, I mean, that's a big thing for him. Better that happen now, right, than in the professional level.
And that's why we have amateur fights. Yeah, exactly. So we can get past these milestones now, because I'll tell you what, you don't want to make it to the UFC and then learn there's a hole in your game, because you don't want to be in and 2, out and 2.
Right. And is that pretty much how it is? I mean, some guys get the 3, but they've got to have a pretty good name to lose 3 in a row, right?
Very rarely do they let guys lose 3 in a row. And I would say the majority of the guys that go to the UFC are out in 2,
Wow.
And then out of the people that stay, very few of those make it onto the main card.
Do you remember when you got your call to be in the Tough House? Ultimate Fighter 1, correct?
Yeah, first season.
Which was the best, by the way. I mean, I think that had some of the craziest guys.
Side note, I just filmed a special that should be airing soon for Tough. Because it's the 25th season this year. They're currently filming the 25th season of Tough right now as we speak.
Isn't that amazing?
It is.
I mean, and what was going through your mind going into that house? Because you were, like you said, a wrestler and then working on your striking. How did you feel going in, and how much did your career take off after that?
Yeah, several factors there. I mean, first off, we didn't even know if the show was going to air when we filmed that first season, much less realize it was going to do anything close to what it did. That final episode had 10 million viewers.
Wow. Hey, Chris, we're going to take a quick break, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to finish, get to the Tough House next. We're with the crippler Chris Lieben in studio. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching WSRadio.com, the worldwide leader in internet talk, Rock Rage Radio, Carlos Kramer's Kick-Ass Radio. Thank you for watching. We'll be right back. Life is full of misadventures, from car crashes to home fires to getting choked out on the mat. Yes, I said getting choked out because I'm Carlos Kramer, jiu-jitsu competitor, MMA and media personality, and mild-mannered insurance agent. You can follow my adventures on Kick-Ass Radio, and I can protect you from life's misadventures at Kramer Insurance. Home, auto, life, business, and workers' comp. We're at KramerINS.com, and I want you to join my world.
Hey guys, CS Keys here to introduce you to San Diego's #1 health meal prep provider, Fresh and Fit Meals. With over 40 menu items to choose from, several pickup locations all over America's finest city, made and delivered fresh, never frozen. Save on time and money. Super convenient and improves the quality of your life. Just visit the website, freshandfitmeals.com, for all the menus and the pricing. Or give them a call at 858-805-5949 for more details. Remember, you are what you eat, so you might as well be fresh and fit with Fresh and Fit Meals.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, CEO and founder of VinVillage.com and the Wine and Dine Show on Vin Village Radio. Do you have a wine, event, product, or service to promote? Then contact VinVillage.com to reach thousands of wine lovers across the country. VinVillage connects like-minded wine enthusiasts with unique and exclusive wines, events, products, and services. To learn more, contact us on VinVillage.com. VinVillage is where wine lovers connect.
Hi, Mary. Our growth has me looking for new furniture, but I can't find the right vendor. Can you help?
For sure.
Do you know a company that will give me a great value?
For sure.
Do you know a company that provides great selection?
For sure.
Do you know a company that is professional and responsive?
For sure, it's Shore. Shore Office Warehouse has been providing great value, service, and selection for over 40 years. It's Shore, for sure. ShoreOfficeWarehouse.com.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Hey, it's Catherine from Listen Local Radio. Moe's Guitars has proudly served the San Diego music community since 1975. Specializing in guitars, basses, mandolins, banjos, and ukuleles, they buy, sell, trade, and consign. If you're looking for lessons, repairs, accessories, and cool gear, you found the right place. Located in downtown La Mesa Village, stop by and check out their digs or visit moesguitars.com or their Facebook page. MOZEguitars.com, 619-698-1185.
Talk to me. WSRadio.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this corner, hailing from San Diego, California, the knockout kings you've been waiting for.
Carlos Kramer and his kick-ass radio show. Presented by Kramer Insurance.
All right.
We're in studio with the Crippler. My brother Chris Lieben, the Arena, Epic, Real Estate. Tell us about real estate and what's going on there.
You know what?
His beautiful gal, Brittany, is helping us both out.
She's our tech person right now. She's got cell phones in both hands.
Carlos Kramer, yeah. We're both going live.
Okay, so
yes,
Brittany, hang on. All right, we're real estate. It's
yes.
You know what? It's going. You know, I had to jump through some due to some of my brushes with the law. You know, it took a little longer. You know, I'm still in some paperwork process of getting my license completed. I had to do some extra stuff. You know, show them that I'm legit, that I'm on the right path now. All that paperwork is in so far. I've talked to the Bureau of Real Estate. Everything looks good.
Great.
So I'm kind of in a landing pattern. I am working in the field, you know. I'm working with Jason Stewart, doing open houses with him.
Love Jason,
And
one of
then-
the best
and then-
in the game in real estate, so a perfect teammate for you.
Absolutely. Brittany's stepdad, Mike Bird, is also a broker, so I've been doing some work with him as well. You know, just trying to get my feet wet right now, getting used to it. Some things are happening, some things are moving, some things are shaking, so I'm starting to kind of get the feel for it. But, you know, totally a new avenue for me. I mean, I've never done anything like real estate, but you know what? I really enjoy it because it's a new challenge.
Right.
I love talking to people. I tell people all the time, the only thing faster in my hands is my mouth. So you know that, Carlos.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Both of us are talkers.
Dude,
so
Chris, you cracked me up the other day because we were both with Dean Lister, the legend, another legend, Dean Lister, showing some moves, and you were great. I was like, hey, how'd you like that move? And you're like, what move? Oh, yeah. The first time, it's the other guys.
Yeah.
The second time, what did you say?
The first time I always give credit to where I learned it. The second time I can't remember where I learned it, and the third time I made that shit up.
That is great. That is classic. The Boogeyman, man, I mean, he's got a million moves.
He
really
does. I was actually, I had stepped, I'm at the arena, but I had stepped into Victory to do some, there's a product called C7 Tech that I'm involved with.
Me too, with Greg Fram and,
pretty amazing.
And Choppa.
Pretty amazing. I'm going to have some stuff up about it on my Facebook if you're interested. We actually were doing some thermal imaging just to see what it does to my circulation when I put this product on, and it's pretty impressive looking at that. But of course, Carlos and Dean are out on the mat. I'm trying to go to the bathroom before I do these things, and next thing I know, I got my jeans, a t-shirt on, and I'm out there being a grappling dummy for Dean, which is an honor, but always a little rough.
Right, exactly. I've never. I mean, his grips are just incredible.
Yeah. Dean Lister is a monster. Yeah.
He told me one time, he's like, I was on top of him, and I think side control, and he goes, yeah, just put your arm under my neck, you know, to get the position. And I couldn't. I'm like, okay.
There is no neck to get underneath.
Right.
It's just the shoulders and the head at that point. Yeah, for sure.
It was like concrete. So, hey, we've got questions coming in too. Chris, I want to ask you real quick, you and Brittany, how big of a difference does having the right gal in your corner make in your life?
Man.
I know for me, it's night and day. I mean, I'm a way better man in a committed relationship, happy, loving, and being loved than anywhere else. And I found that with Tekka, and I just wanted to share that.
Well, you know
I feel
what?
You guys are the same way.
I couldn't have said it better. You're 100% right. She's helped me through some pretty serious lows, and we're finally now getting to a point where, there's some money coming in. There's some things, we have a good solid foundation. We're stable. I mean, there was a part when, I was homeless, I was an alcoholic, I was on Suboxone, all these, things that I was battling, and without her, I could have never faced all those demons. But now I'm at this point, where I'm 100% clean and sober. I've got a great house. I live a block from the ocean.
Love it.
I work at the best gym on the planet. I work for one of the best promotions in the world. I'm doing real estate, books out. It's crushing it. I can't. Yeah, it's great.
But you had to take control, right? You had to take control of your life, your emotions, the addictions. Right?
I did
everything.
I did, and it hasn't been easy. I'll tell you that it was extremely difficult battle, and it's something that I still work on every single day, because it's that old adage, if you're not growing, you're dying.
Right.
You can never rest on your laurels, and it's the same. I have to take my life now the way that I treated fighting, regardless of if I was hungover or maybe even I was still high, I was always in the gym training. I think that was the difference between me and a lot of guys, a lot of my friends that I came up training with that never quite made it, was I always came in, but
so
now...
you were functioning, fully functioning.
Relatively functioning, yeah. I mean, yeah, I was a pretty good faker. You know what I'm saying? So, and I did some great things in my UFC career. Going through those battles that I was going through, which are all outlined in the book. But now I take that athlete point of view, that martial artist view towards life. How no matter what, just like a fight. After a fight, you look at it, you go, okay, what worked, what didn't work, what can I improve on?
Right.
And that's now the way that I look at my life. Every scenario that comes up, every night when I go to bed, I thank my higher power, the universe, whatever it is, for keeping me sober another day. And then I stop and I ask myself, okay, how did I handle this situation? And how could I possibly handle it better? Did I handle it good? Okay, but could I improve on that? Did I handle it bad? And maybe I should have done something completely different. I do that every night and every morning. I ask the universe to help guide me in my sobriety and my decision-making process.
So coming from that, it's amazing to see what you did, even fighting those demons, right? I mean, not only making it to that level, but actually to perform like you did. We had a fan talk about, ask about Terry Martin. I mean, what an incredible fight that was for you UFC fans out there. He landed some incredible shots on you.
Yeah.
And it seemed like you literally came from the dead and it just fired you up again and you knocked him out.
Yeah, I mean, that was...
Walk us through that.
Well, it's kind of... I can only tell you from watching the replay because...
he was a power hitter too, right? From
Chicago?
Tough
I was
guy.
completely out on my feet during that fight. Not, a lot of my fights, a lot of my wins, not the way I would coach anybody else in the world to fight, by the way, which is
right.
Which I could touch on later. But that's one of the biggest things I get when people come and train with me. They go, "Oh wow, you're actually really technical." And well, yeah. I mean, the reason that a lot of my fights almost look like street fights sometimes, i.e. the Terry Martin fight, is because you know what? I'm not the fastest guy. I'm not the most athletic guy. I was blessed with big hands, a big head, and if I can sucker somebody into a slugfest with me, I'm gonna take that bet.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna take that bet.
Yeah,
I do not recommend that for the majority of my fighters. There's a few out there that have both the same physical attributes and the same mental attributes as I do, that like to get hit, those kind of guys. Then yeah, I'll show them how to just stay in the pocket, counterpunch, blah blah blah. Sorry, that was a little bit of a tangent, but
no, that's great. We want to hear, from you on how this all went down. What led you to be the fighter you are? What created that? And are you deeper now? You seem like kind of a deep guy, a little more philosophical.
I've always been kind of one of those weird philosophy guys. One thing people don't know about me is I read a lot. I burn through 2 or 3 books a week. I'm always trying to find the next magic answer. I'm reading a lot of motivational stuff, a lot of coaching stuff, and then I also get off into some weird metaphysical type, occult stuff. So I crave knowledge, and again, it's that same mentality that I take, that martial artist mentality, towards life. Just like I'll never be done learning, right? As soon as you stop growing, you're dying, right? I'm never going to say, you know what, I got it, my way is the best way, and I've seen that happen to so many fighters, I learned so much from the younger guys at my gym, all the time. They do things, and they're like, "Coach, but you said to do it like," I said, "You know what? I'm not going to tell you that's wrong, because it's working great for you, and you know what? You're the next generation. It's the same reason 50-year-old guys aren't out there making the cutting edge of music, usually speaking. It's the people, the kids that are standing on top of our shoulders, the kids that are working with what I did. That's normal to them now. My level. Guys that are coming in the UFC nowadays. I tell them in my gym all the time, hey, you better be able to beat me. Like that, it doesn't mean that you're a better coach than I am, but the UFC, the amount that the skill level and the game has progressed and grown, absolutely. Everybody in my gym needs to be better than I ever was.
And that's the part of you too that makes you one of the most likable, respected guys out there as well. Always been real, always been straight up, and never any games, really. You're just always right there
I'm pretty honest.
To a fault.
Sometimes to a fault, because people ask me and I'll tell them, sometimes I have to stop and realize, hey, maybe it's not the best thing to tell them the truth, Not all the time, but...
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take another quick break. You're listening to Carlos Kramer's Kick-Ass Radio, Rock Rage Radio, with the one and only, the Crippler, Chris Lieben. We're going to talk to him about his upcoming career, what's going on, and some of those great stories from his book, The Crippler, Cage Fighting in My Life on the Edge, by Chris Lieben.
Thank you for listening to WS Radio. Improve your business and your life with useful information from experts and thought leaders. WS Radio is radio with ROI.
Are you losing the battle with technology? Tired of struggling with IT? Ready to meet your IT dream team? Centrix IT is Southern California's leader in IT management. A 4-time winner of San Diego's fastest growing privately held companies, Centrix IT has provided Fortune 500 managed IT services to small and medium businesses for over 13 years. Put an end to your struggle with technology today at CentrixIT.com. CentrexIT.com.
Life is full of misadventures, from car crashes to home fires to getting choked out on the mat. Yes, I said getting choked out because I'm Carlos Kramer, jiu-jitsu competitor, MMA and media personality, and mild-mannered insurance agent. You can follow my adventures on Kick-Ass Radio, and I can protect you from life's misadventures at Kramer Insurance. Home, auto, life, business, and workers' comp. We're at KramerINS.com, and I want you to join my world.
Are your feet hurting you? I mean really hurting you so much that you can't come to the fair and enjoy other activities with your friends? If so, you may have plantar fasciitis, a chronic inflammation of the connective tissues in the foot. I'm Holly Halsey. I'm a licensed acupuncturist and I can help you with your pain. I invite you to visit me at my webpage, AccuSageHouseCalls.com. That's ACUSSAGE, housecalls.com. Find out what pain-free feels like.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, VinVillage.com, where wine lovers connect. Be sure to tune in weekly to Vin Village Radio for exclusive, in-depth interviews with the who's who in wine and food.
Do you want to be a professional coach? Are you in business trying to make a real difference with people you manage or work with? Have you started a coaching practice that isn't quite getting off the ground? Get the skills you need to be a successful coach today with the Coaches Training Program from Accomplishment Coaching. The Coaches Training Program will show you how to help others focus and be more fulfilled. Whether you want to improve your company's bottom line or create a thriving coaching practice, Accomplishment Coaching can give you the distinctions and practices you need to coach others effectively today. Accomplishment Coaching has spent 6 years developing a cutting-edge coaches training program that will have you ready to coach people professionally in just 12 months, and you don't have to take time off work to do it. To find out more about the Coaches Training Program, just call 1-888-548-6813. That's 1-888-548-6813.
Talk to me. WSRadio.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this corner, hailing from San Diego, California, the knockout kings you've been waiting for.
Carlos Kramer and his Kick-Ass Radio Show. Presented by Kramer Insurance.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Third segment, Carlos Kramer's Kick-Ass Radio. Sponsored by Storm Kimono, Rock Rage Radio in the house, WS Radio, Kramer Insurance, of course. We're with the Crippler, Chris Lieben. Chris, man, we could talk forever, but we've got to get us kind of focused here because you have so many stories, so many life events. Ladies and gentlemen, the Crippler, Cage Fighting in My Life on the Edge. Get in touch with Chris Lieben. You can go through Amazon. I want you to read this book, ladies and gentlemen. Facebook. Do it on Facebook and get the signed copy.
Yeah.
For $25, that's a way better value. And you know what? Who offers that? I mean, that's amazing for $25. So we have a lot of fan questions coming in. Brittany's manning your phone, which probably would take a secretary team of 5 to do what she's doing.
Pretty, it's quite the weight trying to keep up with social media, but we do our best.
So, Chris, you know, as an MMA journalist and reporter, you know, your fans, they love you so much, and they want an update. There was rumors going around that, you know, after your brilliant UFC career that you may sign with Bellator, and then the physical that you took and all that. Could you give your fans kind of an update of what's going on and what happened there?
Well, basically, you know, I lived a hard life. I mean, and, you know, I fault nobody but myself. You know, my training hard by day and then my extracurricular activities by night, you know, my heart just couldn't keep up with it, you know, so it got oversized, misshapen, and, you know, my ejection fraction was down to 18%, which the doctors tell me pretty low, because I was actually training, you know, I had gone through all my medical stuff for Bellator. I was going to sign with Bellator, talked to Rich over there, flew up, met Scott Kroger, everything was looking great, super excited, and then I couldn't pass the EKG. They did an echocardiogram, found out that, yeah, my heart was barely working.
Wow.
You know, and the doctor's like, you didn't have a problem walking up those stairs? And I'm like, are you kidding me? I just did jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, and conditioning. I just did 3 hours of training just now. You know, but...
He said, the doctor's like, how are you even alive?
Yeah, they thought I'd have to take the elevator to get up one story. You know, I mean, that's how bad it was. So
and undetected?
Undetected. And the funny thing about this, what was wrong with my heart is, you know, it happens to people all across the world all the time. Most people just drop dead from it. They never find out. So really, I mean, yeah, bummer. I wasn't able to go to Bellator, but thank God for them, you know, helping me out, paying for all my medicals. And then even after I failed the EKG, you know, Kroger and Rich stepped up. You know, they said, well, we want to figure out exactly what's going on. So they sent me to a specialist. Bellator paid for that.
Wow. Class act all the way.
Yeah, all the way. And, you know, so, you know, once I found that out, you know, obviously that was, you know, an eye-opening experience. And that really pushed me over the edge as far as getting and staying sober. You know, I had been like a tree in the wind for so many years, where I would get sober for a while, then I would fall off for a week or a month, and I would be back to sober. You know, but that really pushed me over the edge. Was the doctor telling me, hey, look, if you drink again, you could die. You know, so yeah, I pushed it all the way to the edge.
And life on the edge. There you go.
But, you know, here's, you know, Lucas, the owner, my boss at Arena, he's done a ton of research on the heart and what we can do besides the Western method, you know, the Eastern, you know, so Brittany actually helps a ton. Lucas wrote out a huge list. We've got all these organic herbs and different supplements that I take several times a day. You know, I had my heart checked. It was at 18. It went up to 22.
Oh, good.
Then it went all the way up to 30.
Wow.
So
big props, Brittany.
It's been a little bit since I've had it tested. Hopefully, you know, soon enough I'll get back in there again and we'll get it tested and it'll be looking hopefully even better. Will it ever get good enough? I don't know. We'll see. You know, I don't want to throw anything out there right now, you know.
But you never know,
as far as, yeah, you know, and I feel like, you know, my place is as a coach. You know, I love coaching. I love training. You know, and really my mindset has changed since it's happened, to where it's like, you know, I want to learn as much about the sport as possible. You know, when you're training as a competitor, as an athlete, you really focus on what you do well, you know, and you keep trying to improve on that so that it's all A-game stuff, you know. But now that, you know, the competition aspect is out of it, you know, I'm not just focusing on what I do well. I'm focusing on learning as much about everything as I can so that I can relay that information and you know, help benefit others.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And you had talked a little bit before the show about meeting possibly and moving into another adventure as well. as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can we discuss a little about that?
Absolutely. I've been working on getting into Big John McCarthy's refereeing certification.
That is awesome.
Martial arts is my life. And I love it. I think. Not only will I have the best seat in the house, for awesome fights, which would be great for me to be able to see things, what's working in competition, take that back to my gym. But, I'll also be in front of those promoters for the guys at the gym so I can be like, hey, this guy's hurt. I got a guy. I'm just saying.
Right.
So
it's an easy fit. Right?
As you know, the martial arts world, MMA, is similar to many other things in this world in the way that it's not what you know, but it's who you know.
Right.
So getting in front of those promoters and stuff, I think would be really good for me and our team.
Hey, Chris, you're doing so much. That would be amazing. We were talking that guys like Frank Trigg has made the move to reffing and done really well. I was just talking to him at an Epic a few Epics ago.
Yeah, Trigg actually reffed one of the Epics a few events ago, and I was like, man,
let's talk.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I like having you in there too because no one's going to be able to tell the fighter's safety and look out for that better than you.
Yeah,
you know the signs. You've been there. You've been knocked out on your feet.
I was researching, the rules and the regulations, and I think we all kind of have our beliefs too, about what we think how judging should happen, how refereeing should happen, But the number one thing is fighter safety.
Right.
And especially in an amateur event, I think that, the referee, we're in there to make sure that fight stopped at the right time so these guys can fight again another day. And that's something that I feel strongly about, so I would like to be able to get in there and represent the fighters,
And always working with guys like Jason Herzog and Mike Beltran and Big John. Wow, what role models that we had to look at those guys. And also the other night, Jim Blair and James Beers, along with Jason Herzog, holding it down big time.
Yeah.
And they run a show like it's a professional show. I mean, with a couple thousand people there and everything just straight and straightforward, and like you said, the safety of the fighters.
As far as amateur fights are concerned, there's no way I would ever recommend anybody fighting in a show that's not camo certified. There's a reason there's a commission. There's a reason that these referees and these judges have to be trained by professionals.
Right.
When you go off onto a reservation or something like that, and you're fighting in a show, yeah, I get it. You want to fight, you want to win, but you know what? Were the medicals done right? Were the blood tests done? I mean, that's a serious thing. This is a close combat sport, right? And where did that ref learn how to ref? Where did those judges learn how to judge? Those are all things that young upcoming fighters need to take into consideration when they decide to get in there and compete.
And we're talking about their life is at risk when they're doing it. Chris, looking in that, what has been through your life your darkest moment? What has been? I know
Thanks, Carlos. All right.
Well, you've had so many uplifting moments. I want to get to that too. But what is? I mean, because any one of these could be. People could take and say, "Man, I don't know how I could make it through that." Right? The Bellator, the physical, the time in jail, right? The getting arrested at the Hard Rock.
Yeah.
Could we talk a little bit about that? Was that Patrick Cote, the fight, or was it?
Yeah, no, Cote. I was drunk before I fought, and I kicked all the bathroom stalls down. Luckily,
in the Hard Rock.
In the Hard Rock,
which we know security over there.
Yeah, they got me. I was actually in handcuffs. Luckily, these Irish guys I was hanging out with were like trying to talk to security guard. I think I gave him like luckily, I had $500.
Really?
I gave him $500, which is like all my UFC per diem.
Right.
And
will this help get me off?
Yeah. And you know what? He just get up to your room, go. So he let me go. I lucked out.
But
that's not the case with every venture I've been in. For sure, I've not been let go before.
Now, did Dana hear about that Hard Rock situation?
No, of course not.
Yeah. And you've had other situations, right? Like that. That was kind of a normal.
Plenty.
Kind of party up until the fight as late as you can go, and
again, everything in excess, nothing in moderation. I was a young, tough kid from the wrong side of the tracks. I mean, that's really what it came down to. It wasn't until I was on that first season of The Ultimate Fighter that I realized that I was messed up and that I had some serious issues. You know, I thought everybody peed on each other when they were drunk and you slapped each other in the face. You know, I mean, I just thought that was, you know, and being drunk on a Tuesday night was just a regular thing for a young guy, you know?
Right.
You know, and maybe it is for a lot of people, but probably not the best idea if you're trying to be a professional athlete.
Right. The man, the myth, the legend, Chris the Crippler Lieben. Ladies and gentlemen, get the book. Go to Facebook and get on there and look up the book. For $25, you can get that and signed by Chris. It's a great read. It's gotten great reviews all over the map as well. We're coming up with our last segment here, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to talk about all the positive things going on in Chris' life and all the difference that he's made for so many people. You're listening to Carlos Kramer's Kick-Ass Radio on Rock Rage Radio and WS Radio. I'm with the Crippler, Chris Lieben, and we're live.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, CEO and founder of VinVillage.com and the Wine and Dine Show on Vin Village Radio. Do you have a wine, event, product, or service to promote? Then contact VinVillage.com to reach thousands of wine lovers across the country. VinVillage connects like-minded wine enthusiasts with unique and exclusive wines, events, products, and services. To learn more, contact us on VinVillage.com. VinVillage is where wine lovers connect.
Life is full of misadventures, from car crashes to home fires to getting choked out on the mat. Yes, I said getting choked out because I'm Carlos Kramer, jiu-jitsu competitor, MMA and media personality, and mild-mannered insurance agent. You can follow my adventures on Kick-Ass Radio, and I can protect you from life's misadventures at Kramer Insurance. Home, auto, life, business, and workers' comp. We're at KramerINS.com, and I want you to join my world.
You've heard me bragging about Progressive Medical Center and how they've helped me feel so much healthier. But one thing, Dr. Agoli, that a lot of people come to you with is just unexplained pain. They just can't get any relief. Why can Progressive Medical Center's Pain Management Center help them?
First of all, we have to acknowledge that pain is for real, and you've got acute pain and chronic pain. Here's the problem. That acute pain turns to chronic, which is long-standing, and no one's getting to the root cause. There's several key diagnostic components that help us get to the root of what's causing this pain. Is it inflammation? Once we do a thorough evaluation to get to the root cause, determine if it's structural or if it's a metabolic issue. And this way we put an individualized program for pain management involving correcting the spine, using certain injections when necessary, and we get our patients out of pain quicker and they stay out of pain because we teach them how to live their life well.
Don't let yourself live in pain any longer. Get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today at ProgressiveMedicalCenter.com.
Progressive Medical, this is your life, live it well.
Your search for the right office furniture will be done when you walk into Shore for sure. In our 46,000 square foot warehouse, you are sure to find the right new or used desk and chair for your home and office. Trusted for over 40 years, Shore is proven to provide great value, quality, and service. From free space planning to our white glove delivery service, you are sure to leave happy and satisfied. We're a family-owned business that will treat you like family for sure. Se habla español.
You take your smartphone almost everywhere you go. Now WSRadio.com can be there too. Search WS Radio in the Play Store for your Android devices or iTunes for Apple and download the WS Radio application. WSRadio.com on your phone and in your ear everywhere you go. Download the WS Radio application. Do it now. It's very easy. WSRadio.com.
Talk to me. WSRadio.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this corner, hailing from San Diego, California, the knockout kings you've been waiting for.
Carlos Kramer and his Kick-Ass Radio Show. Presented by Kramer Insurance.
Oh, yes. We are having a blast in studio with Chris the Crippler Lieben. Are you kidding me? Right here, right now, talking about his life. An incredible life, man. And you've got to be thankful that you're still alive in many regards.
Oh yeah. I mean, besides the hell, there's been several times when I should have died immediately. I kind of got myself in some trouble or made a poor decision, for sure. So yeah, very grateful.
And you know what, your fans are so supportive. Like when you were in jail this last time, right?
Yeah.
You had a countdown and you had thousands and thousands of people sending you messages, right?
Yeah, and I got to thank everybody for sending me those gift packs because candy is about all you got in there. That was tough though, man. I had some weight to lose when I got out.
Did you said you gained about 30, right? Is that what you gained?
All I did was lay in my rack and eat candy pretty much the whole time. Besides that, I was drinking about 10 milks a day. Everybody wanted to be my friend in there, so I was getting everybody's leftovers and I was welcoming them.
Any problems inside, or was everybody pretty supportive and cool?
Everybody was supportive and cool for the most part. I think probably off air I can tell you a story or two, but we'll keep that for
for us. We got to have some perks, right?
Yeah.
Your fans want to know, and I want to know. You and Ed Herman have a long relationship. Short fuse.
One of my best friends in the whole world for a long time. Yeah.
And you had said you gave him that nickname.
I did. Yeah.
If I can do the lead in, because I was like, Chris, that had to be pretty wild, you and Ed Herman going out back in the day, because that's two guys you definitely don't want to tangle with, and two guys with definitely a shorter fuse than others.
We were a little wild, that's for sure, man. We had a lot of fun together.
Great guy, funny guy.
Great guy, funny guy. He pretends to be the hard ass, but he's really just a sweet guy, and he'll do anything for anybody. He's actually, he's loaned me his car for a month at a time. He's loaned me money. Awesome. He's been supportive through everything I've been through for going on a couple decades now. Looks like we're almost been friends for almost 20 years now. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was in the Oregon area?
In Oregon. Actually, funny, we didn't realize it till later, but me and Eddie grew up about a block from each other. We both grew up in a neighborhood called Felony Flats in Portland, Oregon, which is it's one of the meth capitals of the country, and it's a pretty.
So it's got that going for it.
It's a pretty ugly neighborhood.
Right.
Big surprise. We both came from that neighborhood.
Awesome.
And
his career is still kicking ass.
Still going, man. And Eddie's one of those guys. Now he doesn't do any supplements. He's never done any extra. He doesn't do a lot of extracurricular stuff like I did. He's a true 100% clean fighter, and I'm kind of looking back going, I wish I wouldn't have made the mistakes I made, because look at Eddie, and his body's still working for him. He's still fighting and winning. It's great. I'm proud of him.
Chris, you hit a great point. The painkiller situation with fighters. If that's your job and that's what you're going through day to day, how big of a problem is that out there? You saw how easy it was for you to get addicted.
Sure.
It leads us to believe there's got to be countless guys out there who are going through the same type of problems.
There really is, and in all of athletics. Matter of fact, I did a movie called Prescription Thugs, which is the same guy that did Bigger, Faster, Stronger, Chris Bell.
Okay.
And he does a phenomenal job at documenting the prescription pill epidemic in professional pills. It's bad in fighting, but football, pro wrestling, man, it's even bodybuilding. It's even worse because you do get hurt. You do get hurt. That's your body telling you, hey, you got to back off a little bit. But what do we do? Because we want to compete, we want to win. We take a pill, the pain goes away. And then all of a sudden you figure out that pill, not only does it work for physical pain, but it works pretty well for mental pain too.
Right.
So that
puts you in the clouds and
yeah, exactly. Things
feeling.
go through one ear and out the other. All that stress and anxiety of your upcoming fight can go away in a little pill. You're not getting a ton of calories. Like with the alcohol, you're not getting the hangover like with the alcohol, and it's wrapped up in a cute little blue pill and a bottle that comes from your doctor, so it's got to be okay, right?
Yeah, that's the scary thing, right?
Yeah.
You're doing what the doctor ordered.
Yeah.
You're even clean and not drinking and not doing other stuff, right?
There you
You're
go.
just taking the medication.
Yep.
Scary what it is today. You've come so far. Your toughest fight who would you say? I mean, you fought Anderson Silva when he was in his prime.
Yeah,
guys like that. Does that come to the top of your list?
Well, that fight was kind of one-sided. So when I think of like my toughest fight, I would think of a come from behind victory.
Like a Terry Martin.
Like a Terry Martin Akiyama fight was phenomenal.
Your Vanderlei Silva fight we were talking about 28 second,
27,
20 second.
Not that I'm counting, but let's just get it right.
That is absolutely huge to do the axe murderer. I mean,
yeah,
a true legend in the sport. He had to even be surprised that you got him out so quickly.
Well, it's funny, because we train for him, and fear is such a motivating factor. I'd never been more scared for a fight in my life, and I think that one, it kept me clean through the camp. Well, that, and then my best friend Hawaii, Ralph Fukumoto, really helped me preparing for that fight and getting off of all the prescriptions and everything else. My head was real clear, and I had a great game plan that my coach Burton Richardson had come up with. And it's funny because a lot of people say, "Oh, Chris got lucky, Chris got lucky," and then my coach Burton Richardson put up a video of us training exactly what happened in the fight. Vanderlei throws straight 1-2, looping punch, throw an inside kick to get him to fire that trigger, then block wide, and then look for the tie clinch uppercuts. Is exactly what we drilled a ton of times, and it's actually the only fight I've ever had where the game plan actually worked out the way it was supposed to.
Chris, what with your knowledge and what's happened in your career, what quick message do you have for your fans?
Man, you got to take care. You got to take care of yourself. Especially young athletes got to remember that their career is number one. Their body is number one. So you got to be a little bit selfish sometimes. You got to realize that you can't be there for everybody all the time. A lot of people are going to be out having fun, and you're going to be at home. And right. You know what? You got to be comfortable with that, because that was a huge problem that I had. I could never say no to anybody or any social event. I always wanted to show up, show face. But you don't have time for all that. You can do whatever you want. Truly, you can. You just can't do everything you want. And I think that's important.
Great words of wisdom from Chris Leben. I mean,
Thank you.
That's perfect. I relate to you so much because I kind of had, before I was 21, I had been arrested 6 different times for fighting. So I was kind of a little bit of a trouble guy. Was more about the respect level, and then I grew, and I realize now how lucky I am to have made it through that tough time. You have fought so many demons, more than almost anybody out there, and have prevailed. Your real estate career is going. So I want fans to get in touch with Chris. If you're buying or selling a home in San Diego, LA, or anywhere in California,
Please,
he can take care of you, and he is aligned with the best. Also, I want to hit MMA seminars. Chris is available to get out there, ladies and gentlemen, across the country. If you've got a gym, hook him up.
Let me know. Yeah, absolutely.
Gives a great seminar. Do you have anything else to add? It's been a pleasure having you, and an honor, brother.
Yeah, it's been fun. I can't believe, did an hour go by already? Are we coming up on time?
The board is flashing already.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah, no, thanks, man. It was great interview, great job. Got all my information out there. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, follow me. Like the video if you're on Facebook.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the one and only Chris the Crippler Leben on Carlos Kramer's Kick-Ass Radio, WS Radio, and Rock Rage Radio. We'd like to thank Kramer Insurance and Storm Kimonos for your support as all time. The Crippler, Chris Leben, thanks for joining us.
Right on. Thank you, Carlos.
Thanks, brother.
A podcast or radio show on WS Radio is a great way to create content marketing. Turn prospects into customers into raving fans. Contact Wade at WSRadio.com or call 866-WS-RADIO.
Life is full of misadventures, from car crashes to home fires to getting choked out on the mat.
Yes, I said getting choked out because I'm Carlos Kramer, jiu-jitsu competitor, MMA and media personality, and mild-mannered insurance agent. You can follow my adventures on Kick-Ass Radio, and I can protect you from life's misadventures at Kramer Insurance. Home, auto, life, business, and workers' comp. We're at KramerINS.com, and I want you to join my world.
This is Jackie Bertoni.